It happened on April Fool's Day that Steve Wojciechowski became Marquette's head coach. Now, I thought maybe Mike Krzyzewski has a sense of humor here. Maybe that's Coach K saying, April Fools. But it's Wojo going to Marquette, and why now? Coach joins us from his office in Milwaukee. Steve, congratulations. Why make the move now to become a head coach?
Well, I feel like Marquette's the perfect place. I mean, for me to go to a school where you can have the best of all worlds as a student and as an athlete, and to a place where the basketball is part of the fabric of the university, it felt like the perfect fit and time for me to make the next step.
Okay. But the timing of it was interesting because I think Coach K came out and said he plans on coaching for 5 more years. Did that impact you becoming the next head coach at Marquette?
That's funny. I've gotten that question a lot. It didn't, and for me, I've wanted to be a head coach for a long time, but I've tried to be patient and find what I felt was the perfect fit. And Marquette for me is ideal. It's a great place Milwaukee's a great city, a great place to raise a family. The Marquette community is an amazing community that supports its basketball team like no other. And so I'm used to being a part of a program where there's great tradition of really good coaches and great players and pride. And Marquette has all those same things. And the timing was right, the place was right, and the people were perfect.
Were you ever told you were the coach in waiting at Duke?
I had never been told that, no. And
did you assume that you would, when Coach K stepped down, you could have that job?
No, I never made that assumption. First of all, if you talk to anybody that's played at Duke, they want Coach K to stay a long, long time. He's the absolute best, and he's the perfect guy for Duke. And I hope to be the perfect guy for Marquette, and that's where my total focus is. And I would not leave Duke if I didn't feel like I was going to a place that I could call home.
What if he said to you?
I'm a guy who, when he finds something he likes, the example being at Duke for 15 years, I stick to it, and I believe in it, and I try to build a home there, and that's what I'm going to try to do here at Marquette.
Is this your first head coaching opportunity as far as offer?
No, I've been offered other jobs, and but this was the right one. The coach has always said to be patient, to try to go to a place that you feel like has the same values and mission you do as a coach and as a person. And I think Marquette does, has those things. I think our beliefs align incredibly well. And I've been overwhelmed by the enthusiasm and the reception I've gotten here, and I feel so proud. It's when you wake up in the morning, and not that I've left my office at all, but I go into the closet and I see all the Marquette shirts and I put it on. I feel a tremendous sense of pride.
How was the conversation with Coach K?
It was terrific. I mean, he could not have been more supportive of me throughout the whole process, and that's the way he's been throughout my life. He wanted what I felt was best for me and my family. His respect for the Marquette program is off the charts, and he could not have raved more about the school's love of basketball, the support of basketball, the city of Milwaukee, and the people in the community. I mean, I was taken aback a little bit by how effusive he was in his praise of the school and the people and the tradition. I mean, he was one of the big selling points in it. And his advice to me is just to be myself and to do it the right way and show up to work every day and do your best, treat people right, and that's what I'm going to try to do.
Who cried first?
I think there were tears on both sides. But they were tears of joy. I mean, I was very fortunate to have an incredibly special relationship with my high school coach and my college coach and the university that I went to, and that's not the norm nowadays. And I feel lucky. I feel blessed to have that opportunity, and as a result of that relationship, I get to be a part of something like Marquette and the community here. And so I feel a responsibility of passing it forward.
He's Steve Wojciechowski, Marquette's new head basketball coach, joining us. Dan Patrick Show. If
I'm in the market for an associate head coach. Do you do halftime interviews?
Well, I saw yours. I could have helped you a little bit there.
I think you'd be a great halftime interview.
Well, you know what I think you should do, Wojo, is go Greg Popovich on people. Like, I
haven't built up enough equity to go all pop on people. Although I do chuckle every time they pull him out of a timeout huddle and ask him a question. It's I would hate to be the sideline interviewer in those situations.
Okay, when did Coach K say, "Hey, Wojo, you do those halftime interviews. I'm not going to do them"?
Well, that's a relatively new phenomenon in the college game. And
do you like it?
You know what? I understand it. For me, and maybe this is me being old school, the locker room, what goes on during the course of a game, to me, that's sacred stuff. And I understand selling the game and promoting the game. I understand all the reasons why they think it's good.
I don't like it.
But from a coaching perspective, your sole focus should be on your team and what you can do to put your guys in a position to win. And I think sometimes that can take away from it or cheapen it, or I'm old school in that respect.
Who is your successor for the halftime interview at Duke?
That's a good question. Probably. I would say probably Jeff Capel.
Oh, poor
He's
Capel.
a great interview, and he'll do a terrific job for sure.
Is Coach K?
It won't be Coach K, that's for sure.
Is he going to schedule Marquette, Coach K?
No, we don't. That's not something that Coach likes to do. He doesn't like playing, his former guys. There's too much emotion there and too much history, and it's better that we compete against people outside of our family.
When does Jabari Parker make his announcement official?
Well, I think whenever he's comfortable. I mean, I don't think he's really come to a decision. I think Jabari beats to a little bit of a different drummer, and that's one of the things that I think so special about him.
Would you be surprised if he stays?
I wouldn't be surprised. And I think he's going to do what is in his heart that is the best for him and his development long term, both as a player and a person. And there's a lot of really good arguments to be made on both sides of the equation. Jabari's a very unique guy. He comes from a wonderful family that stands for all the right things. I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed. And I wouldn't be surprised if he go. I know, though, the decision that he makes will be a decision that is made with great thought and care.
Every time I announced that you were coming on the show, I immediately slapped the desk here. Just a reaction, because, of course, that means you play great defense. You always slap the floor. So are you going to have your kids, do they have to slap the floor, Woj?
Well, you know what? If they feel, I want them to feel it. I want my team to believe in defense.
How about every first possession defensively, they slap the floor?
These are the kinds of things I need my associate head coach Dan Patrick to talk to me about. I mean, these are the high level discussions that we would have, in the meeting rooms. And so you're already offering a lot of ideas. I don't know if I can compete, from a salary standpoint from what you're doing now.
I think you would want me.
It would certainly be fun.
Well, do you want me as a shooting coach first of all? And then if you want me as an associate head coach, I'd do that. But let's start with what I do well. I'd be a shooting coach.
That's good. Well, I could use that. I could definitely use that.
Oh, I know that.
We can combine outstanding defense with really good shooting. We'll both be in good shape.
Would you slap the floor just for old time's sakes? The office floor as we say goodbye?
For you, anything.
All right, I love this. Here we go.
I just broke my desk.
Or your hand. I like that. Man, now I'm nervous. Now I'm
fired up, man.
Yep, I love it. Hey, Woj, congratulations. Good for you, and we'll talk to you during the season.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Steve Wojciechowski, probably going, I can't leave my hands hurt.